On a chilly December night in the serene Saristal village of Lormi, Chhattisgarh, India, a surprising discovery was about to unfold. Beneath the starry cloak, the village's everyday life unfolded in its tranquil monotony until a sharp and inconsolable cry shattered the calm. Raj, a young local resident, was returning home after a long day of work when he heard a strange cry coming from a nearby bush. Curious, he approached cautiously. What he found there would forever change the lives of many in the village. Wrapped in a litter of puppies lay a newborn baby, still with the umbilical cord. The little Akanksha, as she would later be named, was being warmed by the heat of the puppies and their mother, a kind-eyed stray who had embraced her as one of her own. Raj, incredulous at the scene, ran back to the village to seek help. The news spread quickly, and soon a small crowd gathered around the litter, marvelling at the scene of pure compassion and maternal instinct. The voice of an elderly woman, known to all as Ma Kamala, broke the silence. "This child is a miracle. She was chosen by the gods to show us the true meaning of compassion and kindness. She is our Akanksha, our hope." As little Akanksha was carefully lifted from the protective arms of the canine mother, a mix of emotions filled the air. Admiration, bewilderment, and an unshakable sense that something extraordinary had just happened in that village. The next morning brought a whirlwind of activities to Saristal village. The news of the baby found with the dogs spread like wildfire through the houses and alleys, capturing everyone's attention. A rescue team, alerted by Raj and other villagers, arrived to take care of Akanksha. While the medical team carefully assessed the baby's health, a crowd gathered around, each face reflecting a mix of concern and hope. The canine mother, affectionately nicknamed Guardian Mother by the villagers, watched from afar, as if understanding the gravity of the situation. "The baby is fine, but she needs immediate medical care," announced the leader of the rescue team, a middle-aged doctor named Dr. Anand. "We'll take her to the hospital, she's a fighter." As Akanksha was taken to the rescue vehicle, a young and gentle woman named Priya, who worked as a volunteer on the team, noticed something special. "This child is strong, she has an incredible will to live. I can feel it," she said, moved. In the hospital, as the medical team worked to stabilize Akanksha's condition, news of her miraculous rescue spread beyond the village. Journalists and curious onlookers began to arrive, eager to learn the story of the puppy girl. Meanwhile, in the village, a fervent discussion began. "We must do something to help this child. She is one of us now," said Ma Kamala, her voice full of determination. "She was sent to us for a reason, and we must protect and care for her." Touched by Akanksha's story, the community began to mobilize. Food, clothes, and monetary donations were collected to help care for the little one. The tale of the baby rescued by the dogs was no longer just a local news. It was about to become a symbol of hope and humanity for the entire world. Akanksha's story spread like a wave of solidarity throughout the country. From all parts of India, people sent messages of support, donations, and even offered to adopt the little one. The story reached the Jeev Ashraya NGO, which immediately got involved, using its social media networks to amplify the incident's voice. Meanwhile, in the hospital, Akanksha's fight for life continued. With each passing day, she showed signs of improvement, surprising the doctors with her resilience. Dr. Anand and Priya, the volunteer, were always by her side, ensuring she received the best possible care. Priya especially developed a special bond with the baby, spending hours with her, singing lullabies and talking to her in gentle tones. In the village, the canine mother was welcomed as a hero. The residents took care of her and her puppies with affection and gratitude, recognizing the crucial role she played in Akanksha's rescue. Akanksha's story sparked an awakening in the community. People began to gather to discuss ways to improve life in the village, from creating better healthcare facilities to developing programs to help the less fortunate. After a few weeks, a decisive moment arrived. Akanksha was stable and ready to leave the hospital. The question now was, who would take care of her? Priya, who had grown deeply attached to the child, expressed her desire to adopt her. However, she knew there were many other interested parties, including families from other parts of the country who had been touched by her story. Meanwhile, in the village, a meeting was convened. Ma Kamala spoke with wisdom. This child has united our village and shown the world the strength of compassion. She belongs to all of us, and we must ensure that her future is bright and full of love. The decision was made. The entire community pledged to take care of Akanksha. She would be raised in the village, with Priya acting as her adoptive mother, but everyone would have a role in her education and well-being. Akanksha's arrival in Saristal village was celebrated with a party that brought together all the residents. The streets were adorned with flowers and lights, and the air was filled with music and laughter. Akanksha, in Priya's loving arms, was the center of attention, receiving blessings and affection from everyone who approached. The Jeev Ashraya NGO documented the event, sharing the joy and unity of the village with the world. Akanksha's story had become a symbol of hope, inspiring people from various parts of the world to adopt more compassionate and loving attitudes. As Akanksha grew up, surrounded by love and care, her story continued to resonate. Schools and institutions used her story to teach about compassion and the importance of caring for others. The canine mother, the guardian mother, and her puppies also found a safe and loving home, thanks to the generosity and kindness of the village residents. Priya, now Akanksha's adoptive mother, became an advocate for children's and animal rights, inspired by the journey she had travelled with her daughter. Together, they visited schools and communities, sharing their story and spreading a message of hope and unconditional love. Years later, a grown-up Akanksha looked at her life with gratitude. She knew that her journey had started in an unusual way, but firmly believed that every experience had shaped who she was. Determined to give back, she dedicated herself to helping others, perpetuating the legacy of love and compassion that had been so generously offered to her. Saristal village, once an unknown place, became an example of solidarity and humanity. Akanksha, the girl saved by a canine mother and raised by an entire community, became a beacon of light, showing the world that even in the darkest moments, there is always room for miracles of love and kindness.